I'm here today to share with you a story of iPrice, a company which we run here in the region, and to show you how we work with data and how we understand the notion of data as the new electricity. Just for your understanding, very quickly in terms of what we do as a business model, we're a product discovery and price comparison engine. Our typical customer starts at Google. Our typical customer starts at Google. In this example, looking for Nike shoes in Malaysia. And we score at the organic search. Customer moves to our platform, and with a set of filters, she can narrow down the selection. Here in this case, it's a pink Nike Air Max for women. And then we redirect the customer to one of our 500 merchants partners where the purchase can be finalized. Now, we've been having recently discussions with investors about new round of funding, and we built this picture of what is iPrice, and then you argue we have set of business lines, and they all are very promising. We have 7 markets, we have great team, and they all like, yes, this is true, we saw it with many other companies. What is really the one thing you have superior to others? And what we realized is actually it's the part at the bottom. It's the largest monetizable catalog we put together, currently consisting of 35 million products. And so essentially, value of iPrice of our company is driven by the fact that we possess a lot of data. We have 800,000 smartphone covers, by the way. It's amazing how many smartphone covers producers there are in the world and what they produce. We have 50,000 light bulbs on our platform. We also have 2 types of animal-shaped urinals. Not really sure who is buying those products, but yes, somebody has designed them, developed, and are selling them here in Southeast Asia. But let's look at the data from a perspective of numbers on what are the available possibilities we can analyze. And we start with Google search. I mentioned that that's where our customers are starting their journey. And there are more than 180 million Google searches which are related to online shopping here in the region. 180 millions. And when we analyze them, we learned a lot of things. For example, we learned that in Malaysia, in fashion, the entry-level brands are very popular, like Vinci. We learned that in Singapore, it's much more about high-level, the top brands like Gucci or Prada. But then we looked at Vietnam, and Vietnam was a surprise for us. People are not searching for brands in fashion. They're much more searching for categories like shoes or dress or t-shirt. And we were not sure why. We analyzed a lot, and then we learned that actually, there is still not much trust in e-commerce in Vietnam, and people are afraid that they will buy a fake, and therefore they rather search for categories instead of specific brands. Now think about how this process, would have, gone through a couple of years back. So we would probably engage some marketing agency. They would build a questionnaire, find 1,000 people in each of the respective countries, run the questionnaire, crunch the data for a couple months, couple weeks, and then come up with the results of how people think about various brands and about fashion online shopping. Now these days, we did it in a few hours. And not only that we get sample, but we get actually the full data set available. We exposed to Google 800,000 landing pages. So 800,000 possibilities how to enter our website. And we have perfect information about every single one of them. How much time people spend on it, where do they scroll over with their mouse, what do they click on, what is their behavior on each single one of them. And thanks to that, we, for example, spotted the rise of Korean beauty products. I mean, I see some women in the audience, so they would probably find it familiar. For me, this was a new thing. But April Skin, it's a Korean brand. It's a hot thing in the region now. And there are thousands of people searching for this brand compared to, a few dozens or zero some time ago. And because we were looking at our landing page performance, we spotted the rise of this product soon enough. We got few more merchants selling this product on our platform, and we tripled our revenues in a very short time period. And next to it, we have 35 million products on the platform. And again, for every single of that product, we know the performance. We know how many people clicked on it, whether people hovering with the mouse over that product or not, whether the product actually converted and somebody bought it or only clicked and did not ending up buying, right? And the funny part is, getting all this data is actually not difficult, right? Google searches, it's just API, you can connect to Google tools and get the data downloaded for free. With the landing pages, we have Google Analytics set up, and it's free of charge, and it's not that difficult. Probably all your websites are running on Google Analytics. The product tracking, these are third-party, relatively cheap tools. We use Hasselfirst, but there are many others. And again, this was relatively easy to set up. Now, where's the problem? There's simply too much data. There's simply too much data to crunch, to look at, to analyze. And what is happening also sometimes in our company is that people get lost in it. They try to answer a question and they get deeper, but the answer is not coming. And there's more and more data to crunch and more views to develop, but actually not getting to result. So we built a very simple 3 rules on how to go about data-driven company. It sounds simple, but it's relatively difficult to stick to those rules. But then the results are awesome. One of them is be absolutely data-driven on all levels of organization. What tend to happen, people mindset is trying to simplify, right? People tend to quickly come up with solutions, but we have to always ask for a data proof. What is the best way how we can prove our hypothesis? What is the best way how we can actually turn our hypothesis into a proof which enables us to do the right action? How do we know that Korean beauty products are hot? What the data are saying. Is it worth for us to actually, readjust our sales activities in order to get merchants selling this product? All those things are all those questions must be asked and supported by data. Definitely, it's about scaling up the organization to be ready for data culture. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're a product discovery platform, a lot about fashion. There are a lot of fashion products on our platform, and we have a lot of women visitors to our site. Yet, our chief of marketing, he's actually a PhD in finance, right? He's not like a trendy guy who would, read the fashion magazine. No, he's just a data guy. And I would still argue that he understands trends in the fashion here in the region better than anybody else. I think there were moments where marketing was a lot about, cool stuff, about, building the commercials, shooting them into TV or various offline medias. But I'm, strong believer that especially in e-commerce businesses, marketing turns out to be super data heavy department, and having the right people in the top is absolutely essential. And last but not least is about implementing the right tools. We've seen a lot of data geeks who are coming to the organization, and they have all their own tools which they like to use, but typically they want to go deeper. But what we realized is missing is actually the synthesis, to put all the data together, connect the data points in one single round, which is consistent, because only then you can make the right decisions. And typically, more analysis is not what leads to result, but the right synthesis is where one can learn from for the right action. So, to sum up, we are a heavy data-driven company, but we believe that the data availability is actually a big challenge of today's world. And these three things are those which are helping us to overcome that. We have data people across the organization. It's not one department hidden in the corner of the room. It's actually spread across the organization. Our marketing head is PhD in finance. And we are trying to apply the right tools to synthesize the information on the right level. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of the conference.